as I say sciences, because I feel science is boundaryless. So there are always interconnection between sciences, and you'll in India, or we the man, we the human beings make those boundaries, like physics, chemistry, maths, biology. But nature does not do that. So we need to be always natural as possible, and we need to combine these different branches to solve real world problems. So that is why, say, I try to combine chemistry and biology. That's my field. There are many people who combine maths and physics, for example, and also chemistry and maths. So they're always interconnected, and they're always there is the boundary is very thin. And that's why before I go ahead, let me tell you a little bit about my research interest. So research interest in the sense, it is not that I'm pursuing all these areas, but I have interest and we are forming some collaborations. But in broad sense, it is chemical biology. Chemical biology in the sense, understanding the chemistry in the biological systems. So what I feel that when I started out, as Professor Ramkaran, Dr. Ramkaran has also pointed out, that I started as a chemistry, then went to biology, but because I felt that there are a lot of unsolved problems in biology that require an eye of a chemist or a vision of a chemist. So, and he's also said that there are many Nobel Prize laureates who in biology won prizes are from chemistry. Similarly, same chemistry Nobel Prizes are owned by biologists also as well, because they are interdisciplinary. So we try to introduce such a field at my workplace or anywhere I go. It is chemical biology. Currently, we are working on organic chemistry of enzyme catalyzed reactions. So chemistry is still the stronghold, okay, but we want to study how enzyme carry out reactions. You know, every reaction in our body right now going on are catalyzed by enzymes. Whenever you eat, for example, you eat rice, the glycolysis has started, then it will go to Krebs cycle, then it will go to ATP generation pathways, and you get energy in the muscles. But all those reactions are actually chemical reactions carried out by enzymes. Then I study biosynthesis, that is meaning synthesis in the living beings or in the living systems of natural products which are bioactive, meaning anti-cancer, antibiotic. For example, you probably have heard of name penicillin. Penicillin was not made by human being, it was made by fungus. Fungus is a living being. So how did they make it? So that is how the field of biosynthesis has evolved. We are using, say, amoxicillin now is a man-made derivative of penicillin. Synthetic biology that I am interested in, that is, we all know synthetic chemistry or in area, although I tell something about chemistry, but this is applicable to other areas also. We'll come to generalized versions in a little while. Okay, synthetic biology is nothing but you use organisms to make molecule for you rather than making by yourself. So that kind of pathway, or we are trying to study, and you can reduce the step of an organic synthesis person using synthetic biology. I'm interested in clean energy. So biofuels and bioenergy is one of my interest area. I'm trying to collaborate with some of the engineering departments. So that is one of the beauty in a IIT, where you work collaboratively or in close relation with an engineer, where a scientist can stop thinking after some point an engineer may pick up or engineer may have some other ideas. So that is where I'm collaborating with mechanical engineering people who work on biogas and others. Then recently, I have developed some interest in COVID-19, which is the pandemic. I have nothing to say. You all know it. COVID-19 is the current hot topic, and the virus that is known as SARS-CoV-2. We need antivirals. You probably have heard of the name remdesivir. What is remdesivir? It is nothing but an antiviral compound to treat the viral infection. Okay, now we are taking all vaccines. Vaccines are nothing but the organism itself. They are mutated. For example, that is why we think we chemists has lot of area to explore in this virology. So that I'm collaborating with some medical doctors. So I have a small team, only 3 students, because I have started only one year back, maybe one and a half year. So we'll make the group bigger with time. But I have a lot of collaborations. So I collaborate with biology department, Professor Surya Pratap, who works in different biological field. I have collaboration with NUS Singapore, National University of Singapore, Professor Brandon, who is in the Department of Pharmacy, but he is a chemist. So you can see pharmacy and medicine is always related to chemistry. Then Professor Rangilai, who is my classmate actually in USA. Now he is a professor in Suranari University of Technology in Thailand, which is one of the top university in Thailand. Then Si Hui Dong, who was my postdoc collaborator, who is in China. He's a professor in China. So I have communication with him also to do something together. So you can see science has no boundaries, as I say, in disciplines as well as in abroad. If you go abroad, you will see there are a lot many Indian people or a lot people from India and abroad working there, and you will feel India is very close when you go USA also. It is not too far. So okay, I'm talking about this COVID-19. I'm collaborated with Professor Ram at Department of Medicine in Karnataka Institute of Medical Sciences, which is a medical college. Then biotechnology, I'm interested the biofuels and bioenergy area. So that is, I'm trying to do with a biotechnology is HOD in this KLE Tech University. So this places a lot of universities, and now AIMS is also coming. So IIT is already there, IIT is here, and now AIMS is also being located at this place. So it will be a good education hub in the future. So Professor Viswas is neurobiologist. So I'm working in some proteins. And I have a long collaboration with an agriculture person who is at ICAR, or Indian Institute of Council of Scientific Agriculture Research in Port Blair in Andaman Nicobar Islands. So I teach organic chemistry. As I said, I'm from a chemistry background, as well as I teach chemical biology and medicine and life and biology related areas, as well as I teach course in mechanical engineering and energy, so biofuels and bioenergy. That is, these are kind of my teaching. With that, I'll go back to the topic, why we study a science. Here I named chemistry, but it is applicable to others also. As I say, the science is boundaryless. So chemistry is a branch of natural sciences which helps us to understand the world around us and the nature in general. So chemistry has 4 different disciplines, but these disciplines we made it. Organic, which deals with carbon compounds, say inorganic, which deals with other elements of the periodic table, physical laws and chemical phenomena, analytical chemistry, which talks about the analysis, quantitative analysis, etc. Now, this chemistry is related to biology. As I said, all the reactions happening inside our body are actually chemical reactions. We need to understand that. And you can see most of these Nobel Prizes in chemistry are actually chemistry which is happening in the living beings. It is related to medicine, I have already said, and agriculture. So all the pesticides and chemicals and all the fertilizers we use are nothing but chemists. Environmental science, we talk about global warming. We talk about, say, ozone hole, which is nothing but related to chemistry. Geochemistry, anything beyond the surface of the earth, it has also some chemistry component and physics component. Geophysics is also there. Similarly, chemistry is related to physics. Physics like nuclear physics or nuclear chemistry is nothing but a core physics area, and with some tinge of chemistry. So that is a chemical physics, you can say. In addition to that, chemistry is also related to advanced application-based sciences such as material science, okay, which is becoming very hot, and nanotechnology and chemical engineering. Okay, so before I encourage all the students and the participants here to review the talks of Professor Dr. Ramkaran in the previous, as he mentioned, and as well as Subhamam and Nitin, who guided the students with various entrance exams as well as career path. So some will be overlapping, but some will be maybe new. Okay, so those talks will be a primer to my talk. Okay, now as I said, study options after class 12. And I have started from 12 because I thought school, we can make a separate session for school students, but this is mainly starting from class 12 and higher studies. So at class 12, I have given the title Choose Carefully, because it's the interest that should guide your studies. It's not somebody forcefully do that. For example, your parents or your society or your like mama, chacha, वो फोर्स कर रहे हैं इसलिए पढ़ना नहीं है, आपको इंटरेस्ट जताना है. As he said that आपको इंजीनियरिंग मैथ्स एंड फिजिक्स नहीं आ रहा है तो इंजीनियरिंग इज नॉट दैट इजी. ओके, बायोलॉजी में इंटरेस्ट है तो मेडिकल जाना इट्स नॉट दैट इजी. सो इसीलिए that's why it is very important to choose carefully the field. But every science student may opt for this engineering. So this is the most common exam, joint entrance examination. It is conducted by NTA, National Testing Agency. We all know it. And now you all know about JEE Mains and JEE Advanced. So physics, chemistry, and mathematics are important subjects. So you cannot ignore any of those subjects in your class 11 and 12. And let me tell you, many students make the mistakes of coming to class 11 after class 10. There is a huge jump in the syllabus and huge jump in the course structure. Class 10 tak utna syllabus thoda halka rehta hai, but when you go to class 11 and 12, the syllabus becomes very high and the content becomes also very rich. You need a lot of time and motivation to follow and to crack these exams. So JEE Mains and JEE Advanced are required for engineering colleges, you all know. Then this trace also let you take admission into BSMS programs. So these are in the ISERs. ISERs are nothing but Indian Institute of Science Education and Research. Those were designed mainly in the with the leadership of Professor C.N.R. Rao. You probably have heard he is a Bharat Ratna from chemistry department, and he in the lines of IISc to guide the science education in India. So there are I think seven ISERs right now who offer this kind of courses, and JEE offers an entrance for those. You can also study interdisciplinary courses in IITs. So there are BTech and BS courses. Some interdisciplinary courses that are available in the IITs, also in our IIT and other IITs, was chemical science and technology, which talks about chemistry and its relation to industry, engineering physics as well as relation to engineering. So maths and computing, here mathematics and computer science together do this kind of program so that science and engineering can be blended. So these kind of ideas are actually taken from big institutes like MIT, Caltech, where the boundaries are very less and engineers can work with the scientists. Biotechnology, of course, and chemical engineering. So these are kind of interdisciplinary courses which you can go right after class 12 by clearing JEE. Now, if you're interested in medical, you all know NEET is an exam, common exam. Many states and medical institutes have their own exams, but for all of them, physics, chemistry, and biology are the important subjects. So you can see physics is common in both, chemistry and chemistry is common in both. Actually, oh no, these both are common. Biology is required in medicine, and this is important for MBBS courses. Now, if you're interested in defense, there is also one test known as NDA. Test, you all know that. Many students may want to go join our defense services. Very good idea. And it is conducted by UPSC. This test is somewhat simpler than JEE mains, but you can also write if you're interested in that. And then, if you're not interested in pursuing their other professional courses, I'm not going into that. But in general, people may go for Bachelor of Sciences if you're not interested in doing these professional courses. Then also you choose the subject which like you the most. For example, I was interested in chemistry in class 12, so that's why I have chosen chemistry. But you can have your own interest. Okay. Now, Bachelor of Science, here I have again said that give your best. Why did I say that? I said that because many of the students I have interacted with many graduate students. That means graduate meaning BSc or BA level students. Some of them are very demoralized and discouraged. And in fact, there is a component of that discouragement from their family or parents or society, because they used to be they said like that, you have not got a seat in engineering or medical, that's why you are doing BSc. It is nothing like that. So you can study sciences and you can do as good as possible as an engineer or medicine. There is no harm in it. You can study sciences for your own interest and developing the society. We need scientists as well as engineers as well as medical doctors. The society has so many different sections that we need to cover all the areas. So we need best students in those disciplines. So whatever you are doing sciences, don't do it just for sake of doing a BSc or BA. You give your best and do best in that. Okay. So one question come where to study. So you can go to colleges affiliated to different universities in your state. Now there is a problem here. So many students I have taught in master's level for NET, GATE and others when I was in Delhi, I see their basics understanding in the BSc level is not good, because in many colleges, I don't want to name, but the basic education in the BSc level is not very good, because teachers are also not that motivated to teach BSc level. They think it is not that necessary. But you need to choose something that is reputed one, and you know that teachers are good. You can go to those colleges, or you can choose some of the colleges in University of Delhi from the northern area if you want to, even south also. I have seen many students from south going to University of Delhi, because those colleges impart very holistic education and the curriculum is very well developed, and many questions actually in JAM are actually obtained from the syllabus. So North Campus ones, if possible, or some South Campus one are also very good in sciences. But there's a but, because they need high cutoff. So many subjects have high cutoff. So you need to have good score, at least PCM if you're going for science subjects, or art subjects at least best of 4, at least 80 plus, so that you can get an admission in one of those colleges. You can also go to some good colleges in other places. For example, Kolkata. Kolkata has many good colleges in sciences, Presidency, St. Xavier's. There are like, you will see many people in JAM coming from that place because sciences are studied like that way in places that Kolkata had you all know Kolkata had a very well established scientists from that place. Then other places, Mumbai, Chennai, many big places have good educational program, undergraduate programs. I'm not saying that smaller places have bad colleges, but you need also awareness. Only study is not enough. You need awareness that after doing BSc, what will you do? So in smaller places, maybe you can miss those information. Nowadays, with these webinars and online, you will get, but at our time, there was no such information. So we had to, if I have not come to Delhi, probably I had not got the chance of going to IIT, how to go to IIT, how to go to abroad. So those things matter in some cases. Then resources. Okay, so here I want to point out that the role of textbooks is very important. So many students, what they do, the problem is they mostly read teachers' notes. Okay, they will mug up the notes before the exam and they'll get the good exam score because the questions are repeated or they are not, syllabus is not revised. But that is not going to help you in the long run. Okay, because any entrance exams, what Subham and Nitin has probably discussed in the previous slides, JAM and all, they will require thorough understanding of the subject, core concepts, problem solving attitude, time management, and you will need good textbooks. So you read good textbooks. In physics and biology, I'm not going to refer because you have many you can go ask your teachers. Like I know some, like say Ajay Ghatak is one of the optics person, DS Mathur mechanics is very good, Resnick Holiday, you know, as well as some other books such as Griffith in electrodynamics. Those are very good books, but you can refer to your teachers. Similarly, biology areas, kindly refer to your own physics and biology teachers for proper textbooks. You can also search online. But for organic and chemistry, I want to say that you can go for good standard textbooks, which are followed all around the world. They don't have a region. So Morrison and Boyd, Solomons, even Claydon, which is written by Cambridge University professors, Caruthers, Kerry and Sandberg. So some are advanced levels, some are needed in MSc, some are needed in bachelor level. So you make a base and have a habit of studying good books. So it needs some, many people have a activation barrier. So we call it in terms of chemical kinetics, there is an activation barrier. So once you pass that activation barrier, it is easy to read those advanced textbooks. Indian author books are also good. They are simply written, but sometimes they miss some of the important information. That's why you also need to study. So physical, you can go for these books, Atkins, Macquarie, and Simon. Castellan, K.L. Kapoor is very popular in University of Delhi, but you can also go for foreign author book. Atkins, actually, I have interacted once he came in University of Delhi. So he is such a voracious reader and a great educationist. So his books are very popular in different areas of chemistry. Inorganic and analytical, you can go for J.D. Lee, James Hughey, Cotton and Wilkinson. Cotton was a professor at Texas A&M, but unfortunately I could not meet him. He died in 2007. So he is very popular inorganic textbook, and Vogel as well as Cook and West in analytical part. Biochemistry, you can go for Leninger, Stryer, Boyd and Boyd. So these are some of the standard textbooks, and you can also follow some of the other books that your teachers might have suggested. There are many online sources. Recently, this is known as NPTEL. NPTEL is National Program on Technology Enhanced Learning. So this is a program of MHRD, and it is done by, now it is Ministry of Education, not MHRD anymore, by IITs and IISc. Those teachers actually have these programs, and it is completely free. So you can register and you can take the course and you can give the exams, and materials are available. SWAYAM is also such a course, and I feel IGNOU materials are also prepared by very well-researched person. So you can also prefer some of those materials. And video at best, you all know about Unacademy, Khan Academy. All those are many videos in YouTube, but I'll never suggest that YouTube videos can be a substitute to your textbooks. So that is a supplementary information, and who will access the correctness what the speaker is speaking, for example. So sometimes they are not even authenticated. So those things you need to think about. So textbooks are main. You can take additional help from these materials which are available online. Okay, now once you have done a BSc degree, whether in physics, chemistry, or botany, zoology, what is then you come to a crossroad. Crossroad, in a sense, you need to decide again that, are you still interested in the subject? 3 years is enough. 3 years is enough for making you aware that subject is like, you are liking the subject or not. For example, For me, I like the subject, that's why I pursued. For example, Sri Ramkaran sir has liked the subject, that's why he pursued all the way up to PhD. And it is a long commitment. I'll come to that in the later slide. But after BSc also, if you're still interested in the subject, go for MSc. Otherwise, there are plenty of options. There's no dearth of options in for a graduate to find a job or study something else. So you should go according to your interest. So interest, I'm emphasizing that point from very beginning. You can, for MSc, you can go for state and central universities. We have a very good, group of central universities. Some are new, some are old, and they're in the making. So you can apply for, and they have their own entrances. For IITs, NITs, and some of these advanced institutes, you have to go for this JAM entrance test. So previously it was individual test. Now they have conducting this JAM test. There are many reputed private universities, say Shivnadar or even Ashoka University for arts students. So you can also go for those kind of private universities who have a very good curriculum and a faculty profile. You can see in Ashoka University, many people from Stanford, Harvard are teaching there. Okay, you can also go for MS abroad. MS abroad, meaning you can study abroad. So there are the pathway is same. You have to go through GRE, TOEFL, as sir has mentioned. I'm going to give a slide on that. But sometimes scholarship option is not available in MS. So that is the problem in some countries. Some countries, if you're a well-to-do family or if you get a loan or something like that, you can definitely go for this kind of MS programs. But I'll suggest MSc programs in India are not bad. So you can always go for MSc here, and you can go for further studies abroad. We'll discuss in the later slides. Okay. Now, there are some particular scholarships which are very competitive. So, for example, I have seen Rhodes Scholarship. I've never heard of this name, but when I was doing, I one student from St. Stephen's College in physics, I think, he got a scholarship to study in Oxford University, for example, for 3 or 5 years or so. That scholarship is like 5 scholarships per subject for entire India. So it is very, very competitive, and it is not known in smaller places. So you need to have these ideas. How to apply, you can go to different websites to see when to apply, and you need to have a good academic background to do Rhodes Scholarship. Cambridge also have other scholarship, and other university in Germany have other scholarship. You need to explore this option if you want to go for MS abroad with scholarship, not with your own funding. Own funding, you can go anytime. Okay, now joint admission to MSc, I'm not going to elaborate, just one slide. Shubham has already did a great job last time. So it was started in 2006. I was the second batch. Actually, I have taken the exam in 2007. 2006 was the first. Previously, there were only 7 IITs back then. It is an IIT entrance for IIT students for studying in IIT. Those who have missed, say, in the JEE, you can study in the bachelor level, or you can study in the master's levels also. So JAM is conducted by some of the IITs and IISc Bangalore. And it is concept-based questions are asked at the BSc standard. So that's why textbook reading and clearing your concept, problem solving is very important. And all 3 disciplines are important. See, if you're interested in organic or one area of physics, say condensed matter physics, it is not going to enough. You need to have all the areas covered, optics and everything covered to crack these exams. Okay, total seats in MSc chemistry is about 1,200. This was told by one of my friend in the coaching institute that they have a list of these seats, IITs and NITs. There are about 21 IITs who offer MSc right now, and NIT is about 22 out of 31 NITs. And the rank-based admissions happen. So depending on your rank, your preference, you can choose one of those to study your MSc program. And these are general MSc programs. So there is a difference between general MSc versus a specialized MSc. So many universities, state universities, have this specialization in the second year. Sometimes it is good, you get a good knowledge about a particular subject, but sometimes it is detrimental because in the GATE and NATE, all those exams, you have been asked for the entire syllabus, all the subjects equally well. So if you have a general MSc, if you focus all the different areas, same chemistry, organic, inorganic, physical, then you have a high scope of scoring in MS in these kind of GATE NATE exams. So that is why IIT MSc is a high success rate in all those areas. And there's a lot of elective courses. IIT education is highly I'll say there are some core courses and there are many elective courses. You can take a course in economics, you can take a course in medicine if you want, an MBA or business. So you can broaden your skill set, and it is also project oriented. And this is accepted for integrated MSc PhD programs in the other institutes. So it is a common entrance test. You should all aim who are in the second year. So from second year onwards, you should think of this exam, how to get the information, previous year question papers, etc., etc. Now, if you are not interested in doing MSc, I have coming to the other option. You can always go for a job. So any graduate degree, not only in chemistry, any other, is applicable for all these jobs that I'm going to say. And this was also highlighted by Karan sir in his talk. So civil services is one. Many people go for civil services, UPSC civil service. Now, there is a combined civil service, and it is highly competitive. We all know that it needs a lot of preparation. You can also aim for that. Then there is IFS. IFS is not here Indian Foreign Service. This is Indian Forest Service. So IFS is Indian Foreign Services conducted in the UPSC combined civil service. So forest service is eligible only for science students. So that is a high advantage for science graduates. So there is no competition from art students or any other areas. So you can aim for Indian Forest Service. Then PCS, of course, your state PCS, Public Service Commission. There are advertisements from time to time. Then if you have, if you're interested in defense and if you could not clear the NDA test in the +2, you can again go for these kind of defense services by doing combined defense services exam. This is conducted by UPSC, followed by a staff selection board interview. So I have a friend who is a chemistry graduate. I'm in touch with him. He is from Hindu College. He's now, I think, a captain. Now he went through CDS and now he's a lieutenant. He's going to become a, I think, major or so in a captain or major, something like that, in a very soon. And he's actually a BSc chemistry. So we have a lot of examples in front of our eyes. I have students. I have my batchmates who are POs in, say, SBI or in other banks. So they have chosen the banking industry and they have prepared a long way. But then you need a graduate degree. So if you're interested in this kind of jobs, you can always go for it. Public sector undertakings, there are some chemistry specific jobs and physics specific jobs in some of these public sector undertakings, which are entry level. So their payment is not very high, I would say, and probably it will be better if you are interested in those PSUs after masters. If you clear GATE, there are a lot of opportunities in these kind of PSUs. Private industry also have, for example, chemistry, have pharma industry, paint industry, cement and cosmetics. But again, the point is that a bachelor level student is not very well paid, and other things come into play. So if you're interested in these core related areas, so it's better to get a master's so that you have a better specialization and more options. So masters will give you more options. But these other services, there is no need of any masters in chemistry. Teaching, if you're interested in teaching and you want to follow that passion, you have to go for a BA. So I have my batchmates who are doing teaching in a college or in a school and higher secondary level through by clearing this teachers eligibility test. And you can also teach as a TGT science teacher in KVs and JNVs. They are very good jobs and very job security is there. And state government also have a lot of interviews in these teaching positions. So if you can always go for those. Additionally, you can increase your skill set by studying something professional like MBA. You have to go through CAT and MAT, all those tests, which are very competitive also. The Master of Computer Applications, you can do MCA. So I have many friends from this BSc. I think only two students have ended up in the faculty positions. We had 27 students in our batchmate as BSc. So I am a professor, and another my fellow is a professor in Delhi University College. Okay, all others have chosen other careers. So one of the person is gone to IIT. I am Indore. I am Lucknow, and they have doing very well in various companies abroad or in India. I have seen students going to journalism. So they are one of my friend is a editor in Hindustan Times. He's from chemistry background, but he chosen journalism from Jamia Millia, and then he went for this kind of career. So there are no dearth of opportunities if your interest can take you. So you follow your passion, and law also. And there are many other state government jobs which will come periodically, but they will be highly competitive, and many other factors are there. So, but you still look for those and apply if you're necessary, if you're interested. But in all those, other than your subject, whether physics, chemistry, or whatever, quantitative aptitude, general studies, and logics and reasoning. So these general awareness thing has been introduced in all these subjects. Whether you go for bank PO, CDSC, or civil services, this is must. So you need to start improving those maybe from your third year, or you can take a small crash course or anything like that in those areas. And these are also required for GRE and TOEFL. I'll come in a little while. Okay, and some jobs are preferred after MSc, as I said. Now, if you have, I'll flip over between these two options: interested versus not interested, because it is your heart that should tell you what you should do, not by your parents or forcefully by your seniors or anybody else. So you should follow your call of your heart. So if you're interested, if you have done a master's degree, then again the option come what to do, because then the road is very long. Then the road requires very dedication, passion, as well as commitment. So that is the PhD. Then it's called Doctor of Philosophy. I don't know why it is called Doctor of Philosophy, but it is Doctor of Philosophy in the sciences, whatever subject you have chosen, but it is a long process. Don't do PhD for the sake of PhD, okay? So it is, if you want to do PhD, you do it dedicatedly in a good lab, and you want to understand the subject, then you'll enjoy this subject, okay? Or you can still do some professional courses, which is known as MTech. These are programs, master's level programs through GATE in IITs or NITs in specialized areas. For example, in chemistry, there is corrosion science, there is some industrial training which are directly applicable to industry, which will give you direct entry to industry positions. You can go for a MTech also, polymer science and technology in plastic industry. It is very important. So this kind of higher study you can do. But if you have chosen to go for PhD, think twice, maybe 10 times, because it is a long road. PhD will not stop. Then thereafter, more study, more study, more study. I have seen people doing 3-4 postdocs. So you can see it is a long road. A lot of dedication is required. If you're not interested in the subject, you can always go for all the jobs, which I have said in the previous slide. All those are applicable. In fact, you are more eligible. In fact, you are more eligible in the subject. अब ज़्यादा सक्षम हो जाते हो उस एग्जाम को देने के लिए जो सिविल सर्विसेज which were taken after BSc, MSc के बाद syllabus ज़्यादा cover हो जाता है. In fact, chemistry syllabus is like MSc syllabus बहुत है उसमें. So there is those kind of things are important in your MSc. So if you're interested in job, you can always go for and study. You can go for MBA also after MSc. So those options are always open. Okay. Now I'm going to higher studies. Since this is not about any job, this is mostly about studies. So higher studies like Doctor of Philosophy. This was partly covered by Dr. Ramkaran in the previous talk. So these are available in the YouTube. You can see. I have again given the title commitment and dedication. Commitment meaning commitment from your heart and commitment from yourself. Dedication is the time that you'll require to reach that stage. A PhD is not a joke. It's not a joke. And a lot of pressure is, whether you do in India or abroad, it is the same thing, but it is the motivation that should guide you. And there are a lot of failures. There's a lot of failures. Some wise man told me that in a years of work, there's probably 1 week or 2 weeks of 2 weeks of work. एक या 2 हफ्ते का ही काम है जो publish करने के लायक होता है. So there is only 1 or 2 weeks of work that is publishable. Entire year is kind of hit and trial and error. So it's a lot of frustration, a lot of those things are there, but you should be prepared for those. We have crossed that stage, and for me, until 4th year of my PhD, there was no result. Can you believe it? So until 3rd year, I was trying different projects, nothing is working. So, and they target very good projects, for example, and there's always high risk, high gain. Those kind of projects are there. So that's why I say commitment and dedication is required. Then if you want to do in India, there are many good institutes. These are already covered, but I just want to say that IISc, TIFR, Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, all the IITs, all the IISers, NITs, they offer good PhD programs. You can choose the guide, his previous publication. You can go for the website. Then the CSIR lab. CSIR is Council of Scientific and Industrial Research. It is a governmental body to look over the science education and research in India. So many industrial labs are there for physics, NPL Ahmedabad is very good, or Harish Chandra Research Institute in Allahabad is very good. For chemistry, NCL Pune, you can say, or IICT Hyderabad, Indian Institute of Chemical Technology. So those kind of institutes are there, CSIR labs, where you can pursue your PhD. There are independent research institutes are also there, JNCSR. Then central and state universities. There are many good central universities. Banaras Hindu University, Hyderabad University, also Punjab University, and many new universities which are doing very well, and reputed private universities. But you need to look for their calls. They are like twice in a year, in June or something, and then another in December. So you need to look for their advertisements when they advertise. But then you need a fellowship means funding or paisa chahiye, because at that age, by doing MSc, you reach a stage like 23 24 years of age. At that time it is kind of uncomfortable from your parents to ask for money, so you need money to sustain yourself, to support you, and to support, your family also. In fact, if you're not from a well-to-do family, the scholarship in PhD, say right now, it is about 35,000 you get. So that is a good amount of money, because inside IIT or inside in another institute, your education is highly subsidized. You don't have lot of fees नहीं है ज़्यादा. आपका खाने पीने का भी खर्चा उतना नहीं है. So you can save a lot of money. My student saves, he says 25,000 a month he can save, and he can send to his house also. So those kind of, you need some assistance. So there are some fellowships and eligibility criteria to get this fellowship. So GATE is one eligibility criteria. GATE is not a fellowship by itself. It is graduate aptitude test in engineering. So although it is engineering, many subjects are tested. It is conducted by IITs and ISC. And once you clear GATE, wherever institute you have applied and you have got admitted, the institute will give you the fellowship or the money, and it will come from Ministry of Education, or it is MHRD fellowship, you can say. Now it is not MHRD, Ministry of Education. Okay. So other fellowship is a direct fellowship, so which is known as CSIR UGC. And you all know that it is conducted by the CSIR and University Grants Commission. Now, University Grant Commission has their own GRF in various other subjects. So it is conducted in many subjects. So chemistry, all the science subjects are covered. And it is also important for lectureship. So if you want to teach in a college, LS, maybe the lower rank ones, because the scholarship amount, the number of students is limited, 150 or 200 or so. So beyond that, they give LS to many other students who can teach, and they're already qualified to teach that. Nowadays, the exam pattern has changed. Most of both are become objective type, but still you need the conceptual basis as well as the problem solving attitude to complete the exam on time. Then for biology, DBT GRF is very good source. Probably chemistry students are not eligible, or even if eligible, you probably do not have that much of biochemistry or biology background to crack this DBT GRF. But if you have a good biochemistry background, go for it. You can go for DBT GRF also, Department of Biotechnology. ICMR GRF, ICMR is Indian Council of Medical Research. It is for biology related areas, biology, microbiology, biochemistry, cell biology, all those areas. Even biochemistry is also there. So if you have a good background, you can also crack ICMR GRF and study one of these colleges. So because since CSIR, UGC, GRF seats are limited, you can try this kind of GRF options. DST Inspire is one which is mostly given by the Department of, it's given by Department of Science and Technology, and is given to university toppers, first rank holders, or if you are a DST scholar, Inspired scholar from class 12 onward. So those kind of application procedure is there, so you can apply. It is, this money is same as other institutes. And if you want to do a PhD from abroad, this is a different ball game altogether. You need to have crack other exams, GRE, TOEFL, the names you have heard. Let me tell you a little bit more about how to crack, because I have given all these exams except IELTS, and many of my friends has given, and their experiences, what they have felt and what is required for cracking these exams. Now, PhD from abroad, यहाँ पे मैं बोलना चाहता हूँ, many students may feel that it is a very far. I mean, it is out of our reach. So many students coming from, say, remote places and poor background, they may think that it requires a lot of money. It is not like that. PhD करना मतलब पैसा और उसके लिए उतना problem नहीं है. So it is very important that you know how to do, how much money is required to go for a PhD abroad. If you can gather that much amount of money, that is enough. After that, your PhD will be fully funded. In fact, you can support your family from there. Okay, you will save so much amount of money as a PhD scholar in USA or somewhere else. Okay. Now here I want to say that GATE has 27 subjects in total. A list जो है यहाँ पे 25 subjects are there. So यहाँ पे 2 more subjects recently added. So I'd say for sciences, say biotechnology. Previously it used to be only life sciences. Life sciences के अभी biotechnology में भी बदल दिया. So biology students in fact have 2 options now. They can write biotechnology exam as well as life sciences exam also for this kind of gate clearance. Chemistry is of course there, geophysics and physics. So physics is there and geophysics. Mathematics and statistics. Mathematics and statistics are somewhat correlated. You can write, if you're a mathematics graduate, probably you can write statistics exam also. Then of course the life sciences. So these are science related, others are mostly engineering related. So recently humanities and social sciences and environmental sciences has been also incorporated. So you can see GATE is no longer engineering. So many branches has been taken. As you can see, our new education policy recently, just after the new cabinet, PM Modi had a meeting with the new education minister Dharmendra Pradhan and the director of the IITs and IIScs. And the main motive and the agenda of that meeting was to have holistic learning and liberal art learning. That means incorporating interdisciplinarity from the graduation onwards. So that's why IITs are now asked to follow this national education policy. In fact, from school level itself, it should, from ground root level, so that students get motivation about all different subjects. And that is how the education is conducted abroad. If you see Germany curriculum, US curriculum, or UK curriculum, they are holistic learning. Let me tell you, when I was doing in my PhD, I was as a teaching assistant. One student in my class, chemistry major, his background was music. You can imagine a student from music can even has a himmat, courage to take a chemistry major, and later on he did well actually. So the curriculum is made such a way that students from any discipline can learn any discipline. So that is the holistic learning. Okay. Now, if you want to do PhD from abroad, you have to take this examination. So there are some big names here. One is GRE, नाम सुना होगा आपने. इसका नाम है Graduate Record Examination. ये examination नाम मतलब ये कोई top नहीं है. It is very easy actually for a student to take a graduate level education and little bit of English and maths background. Okay, it is not related to पड़ेगा. So online you want, and it's conducted by educational testing agency. I'll tell you in a little while. It is applicable to many countries. So GRE is a common exam. It is applicable for masters and PhD programs anywhere. Many other countries. These are just few names where you want to study or say you want to go abroad. It is conducted by Educational Testing Service, just like the NTA. ना NTA का concept भी शायद इन सब से ही लाया गया था. NTA National Testing Agency जो हम लोगों का है, जो JEE और medicine conduct कराता है, उसी तरह Educational Testing Services is also a website which conduct these courses. So you just go to this website, a lot of information is there. When I was giving the exam, it was 1600 marks. So 1600 marks, may say if you get 1200, it's very good score. If you get a 1500, you'll get admission into MIT or Stanford or Caltech or something like that. Nowadays, it is total marks is 340, but the concept or the content of the exam is same. So one is verbal reasoning. So verbal reasoning is nothing but English. So English like आपका vocabulary कैसा है, how you know, and if you are from a English instructional, आपका अगर English में instruction रहा है, if you have done schooling in English, then it is very easy. I mean, synonym, antonyms, use of words, proverbs, all those grammatical uses in a language, those kind of testing is done. And quantitative reasoning is nothing but 10 level maths, arithmetic आएगा, algebra, geometry, some trigonometry, मतलब calculus भी नहीं आएगा उसमें. So it is like class 10 level maths in our CBSE syllabus. So that is required. But there are some books that what exact topics are covered. So I'm going to highlight those also. And the third part is analytical writing, where you will be given a small topic to write about a particular essay. So I don't remember what was given to me, but it was something like your childhood and your inspiration, something like that, a small essay that where they want to see whether you can write in proper and correct grammatical sentence. So that is what I feel many of the students miss. Even students come up to PhD, उनको अच्छे से paper लिखना या properly sentence structure करना नहीं आता. So that is, writing is very important. And while recruiting PhD students, this is one of the big criteria for me, how they write. Even when I see an email with full of grammatical mistakes, I'm pissed. So those kind of things are important for English language. And you need to be, because outside the medium of instruction is English. That is why you need to focus on this kind of things. There is subject GRE. So agar aapka ye GRE kharab gaya, if you scored, and let me tell you, out of this 340, if you score 250 plus, it is considered to be a good score. So recently one of our BTech student got a good university, I think Carnegie Mellon or so. He got like 340 plus or something, or 300 plus, some good score. One got at Washington State. So those kind of universities, 300 plus is a very good score. You can go for any other good universities. So subject GRE is additional. It is not mandatory. Many universities asks it. So it is only for some subjects: chemistry, biology, physics, mathematics, English, and psychology. Other subjects are not included. So for our talk, I think fine, because our sciences may almost all subjects are covered. So it is a subject, and it is up to BSc level. If you do a BSc level syllabus, the subject, the GRE test is a very easy for you. Then the another subject test is known as TOEFL. TOEFL is, as the name suggests, test of English as a foreign language. So it is the testing your English language skills. How you? I'm going to tell a little bit about TOEFL in the next slide. It is an online test. It is also conducted by ETS. It is mostly for US, Canada, etc., North America. Then there is IELTS. IELTS is same as TOEFL, but it is mainly applicable to European countries and UK, Australia, those kind of countries. Either ask for TOEFL or IELTS. Some may prefer only IELTS. So you need to see which requirement. And there is no advertisement, no deadline for this exam. So whenever you are ready, you can log in and register into this website, and you can schedule your exam when you want to take, like 3 months later from now. And then on that day, you can go to that particular center and you can give the test, and results will be declared immediately. You don't have to on the computer screen itself. So you don't have to wait for the result. So you can apply next day actually. So this kind of tests are done online. Now let me tell you a little bit about TOEFL. TOEFL mein there are 4 sections which are being tested. One is reading. Reading matlab comprehension. When you read a paragraph, passage, whether you can answer the questions based on that. So it is like a comprehension. It is there in class 10 English, class 12 English. So you are very comfortable if you want to do that, if you are interested in that. Listening matlab आप किसी का conversation सुन के या किसी का दूसरे आदमी का communication सुन के you can answer his questions. So you'll have a headphone, and you have a speaker like this, like I'm speaking, and then someone will be asking the question. It is a computerized voice, and you have to answer. So your voice will be recorded and your answer will be recorded. So that means what he's saying, can you listen and can you understand what he's saying? So that is the listening part. Then there will be a short break, and then there's speaking. Speaking section is you will be given a small topic to say something, a few words, just to understand whether you can speak a little bit English. For example, I should not say this. People from many Asian countries like China, they have a lot of problem killing because they're up to their master's level. Their language of instruction is Mandarin. Mandarin is the highest spoken English language in the world. It is the Chinese language. So that is why their English, many of the students have this problem of English cracking this speaking portion. So mainly the speaking portion, and many universities have the cutoff in speaking. So you need to have this exam is for 120 marks. And then, but India, fortunately, we have most of the medium of instruction is English. So we speak English in many of the our thoda bahut to communication ho hi jata hai. So you'll be able to do well. There is no problem. For me, I come from मेरा education भी most अपने regional medium में हुआ था. Then I pick up English from my Navodaya school, and then, but still, it is still kind of it is okay. So you should understand that speaking is important. So even if it is wrong, you can sit in or stand in front of a mirror and speak something in English. If you have that problem, many of the students maybe in the of fearing जाएगा, हंसेंगे लोग, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. वो आप बोलना कोशिश कीजिए, और ये होगा नहीं, if it is not going to happen just night after before the मुझे most of the exam objective होने से वो क्रैकिंग करने में ठीक है, मतलब वो गोला घुमाने में घुमाने में ठीक है, but like उसको अच्छे से लिखने में, उसको express करने में students फिर भी चूकते हैं. I see students in the BTech after clearing JEE, when they come for this BTech first year course, I teach chemistry course, they have the problem of expressing, because in coaching centers in Kota, they have been told how to do in a short term and a shorthand language, and they don't know how to write in a full language a simple sentence. So that is not how it is going to do if you are going for TOEFL exam. So writing is very important. So each section has 30 marks. Time is about 3 to 4 hours. It is a computerized test. And here I have written one word is learn to type fast, because वो लिखना हाथ से नहीं, वो लिखना computer screen पे होता है. So that is why computer typing board पे. So that is why typing का speed थोड़ा सा मेहनत, because there is a time limit. Typing थोड़ा करना सीखिए bachelor level से. So that's how you will be able to clear this. 80 plus is a good score. Why I'm saying TOEFL particularly, because TOEFL में ही पाते हैं. So many universities ask for 100 plus. 100 plus meaning 25 in each section, or maybe you got 30 in this section. Speaking में आपका 15 आ गया, तो उसमें आपका खराब हो जाएगा फिर. And many universities have specific cutoffs for speaking. So 20 plus लाना ही है, तो इस तरह का cutoffs भी होते हैं. So this kind of restrictions are put in the university websites during application. So you need to look for this. Some is enough. And some crash course or coaching भी आपको करना है तो आप कर सकते हैं, अगर इंग्लिश बैकग्राउंड आपका ठीक नहीं है. But this is the Bible, I will say. Barron's GRE and TOEFL is the best source for preparing. 3 months is good enough. You can do preparation during your graduate or post graduation study. And the second book set series is Princeton Review. This is also very good. I have seen it, but I have not preferred to. Parents is a word in synonyms. So if you hear terrific, you will maybe given a synonym. You know what terrific means, and you don't know what that word means. So those kind of synonym and antonyms exam. So I have remembered अभी तो सब भूल गया, लेकिन 3,000 words you need to by heart, and you need to apply in the languages. Then use a flashcard. To write this word in a like a visiting card होता है ना, उस तरह का flashcard you can. Sciences may these are abroad. May there are many institutes. North America is USA and Canada. USA have so many universities, top 100 universities if you want to take, many good universities. And was a ranking. I don't believe in those rankings too much, because this ranking has a lot of parameters. Okay, so many good. Sometimes you will see people get Nobel Prize from University of Missouri. Say. Last year, University of Missouri. Missouri is not probably in one of those top 50 universities. So good science happens in many of those smaller universities also. But this ranking पे हमेशा मत जाइए. So you should go for the website. You should look at the professor's profile and how he is doing, where कैसे contact आप करने की कनाडा में problem क्या है only 10 good universities are there like McGill or McMaster है ना those Calgary some only but 10 so options are very limited so USA has many options Europe countries UK Germany Switzerland and all of them have different criteria so I'll just focus one or two France and Nordic countries Sweden University of Uppsala probably you have heard then Denmark mein hai University of Copenhagen very good so these are some of the universities in those countries. Asia, Japan is very good for science. In fact, in publications, probably China is leading now, followed by USA and Japan. So Japan is very good in science. Many novel. Singapore has very good. Some of not very many 2-3 universities are good in sciences. South Korea has very good universities in Seoul. Israel, Israel have a lot of novel. Israel is very good for sciences. A little bit disturbed geopolitically, but many good Weizmann Institute of Science and Ilan Bar University. Many universities are there which are very good in sciences. Hong Kong, there are some other good colleges that are in other countries. Australia, you can think of Australia also, Australia and New Zealand. Their admission procedure is completely different. So we don't have time to cover all of them, but these are some of the countries where you can think of going to for a PhD in sciences. Now, how to apply? So here I have given only example of 2 because this is coming from my personal experience, and it's nowhere written this kind of things. So in applications, say this is coming, say in USA, how you want to do? You have given the exam in GRE and TOEFL आपने निकाल लिया, लेकिन apply कब करना है और उसका admissions कब ये होता है? So those things are important, and those things are not written many places. So Ramkaran sir has given some hint in the previous presentation, so you can look that one also. So for example, here I have taken, say, chemistry ranking. So here, although I hate this ranking, but anyway, you can choose from this ranking. You can see many universities are there, their websites are listed, how to go there. So thoda sa internet ka, you need to explore websites, exploring that is very important. Aajkal, because of this because of the smartphone age, all the students have access to internet data plan. So other than wasting your time in using or watching YouTube videos which are not necessary, you can visit some of these websites in your master's level, say, and learn more about this. So if you do this ranking, you go to US schools, there are many universities. Say, these are top 10 universities in USA. For example, Caltech is number 1 now, Harvard, MIT, Stanford, Berkeley, and Northwestern, Scripps Research Institute, University of Illinois, where I did my postdocs, at Columbia, Cornell. So these are many universities. These are top 10. There are many, top hundreds are fine. So out of those universities, so you need to, depending on your scores, you need to select some universities in these different ranks. For example, if your score is 1500, or now in this case, say 350 or 320 plus out of 340, you can choose out of this top 10 and you apply. Maybe you will get admission to one of those. But if your score is less, or 250 or so, probably top universities may not want you. They have better candidates with better GRE scores. So you apply in different ranks. You maybe top 21 or 2, top 51 or 2, and some there in the lower, so that you secure your admission in one of those good universities. Those top 10 universities, those universities you based, not just any random university, based on your interaction with the website and their professors, the research they do, and based on those. Otherwise, if you select some university, random university, and you go there and you got the admission and you find that nobody is there in your interest area, then how will you do your PhD? So those things are important. So department websites, that's I said, you go to people and write emails. So sometimes writing emails also help. For example, my case was an accidental one. I was Texas A&M University, what Ramkaran sir has said, was not even in my list. It was I think at that time 15 or 16 in this particular list, because I thought I will go to New York and people only know about New York, California, those kind of things in about America. But there are many good universities in smaller places. There's Urbana-Champaign. Sorry. Is my screen sharing stopped? Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, now it's good. Yeah, you are back now.
Okay, sorry. I have just 2 more slides to finish.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. You are getting so many good comments and questions. You are doing amazingly great. I must say that it's very enriched, very nice flow,
Yeah.
and everyone is enjoying it. So I'm getting so many good questions and good comments for you. Thank you so much. Go
Thank you.
ahead.
Thank you. I just will take maybe another 10 or 10 minutes. So what I want to say that my choice was accidental. Why I'm saying that writing email, this is my personal experience. And with my friend who was doing PhD in IIT Delhi, he did not like the subject or something like that. He wrote an email to University of Cincinnati in Ohio. So that is University of you have probably heard of Ohio State University. It's one of the good universities. So always do not think about MIT, Caltech, Stanford, Harvard. Some universities are there. They are so good in many. This John Hopkins is so good in medicine. Okay, so good in number one in medical sciences, for example. It even beats Stanford. Okay, so those universities you need to go only when you will understand, when you will go to their websites and their work. Okay, so he wrote an email to that professor. He said that you can come in the next semester. So then he gave the GRE exam and gave the TOEFL exam. He got admission to Ohio State University next semester. For me, I wrote an email to a professor. My professor was Taik Begley. He is a chemical biologist. As I said, I like biology in chemistry. So I wrote an email. He was at Cornell University at the time. So Cornell was out of my score. My score was something like 1200 or 1300, something like that. So Cornell was like top 10 or something like. So I wrote an email to him. He said, you'll probably get an admission here, but if you want to work with me, you apply to Texas A&M, because I'm moving to Texas A&M with my entire group, because they have a very good lab. Probably my lab was shown by Professor Dr. Ramkaran in the previous slide, in the interdisciplinary life sciences building, which was even better than Cornell, his lab in the Cornell. So he got a better grant and everything. So I applied there. So I applied there, and which was not even in my list of universities, and I got admission there. So I wanted to work with him. So I went there and worked with him. So I got admission from 6 universities: Ohio State, Wayne State, then one in John Hopkins, and there are many other universities, but I have chosen that one because it was good rank also, and I like the professor and his research area. So those kind of things matter, and no website will tell you. These are my personal experiences and my friends' experiences. So you can write emails. Don't hesitate. How to write the email? If you need assistance, please ask me or Ramkaran sir, because don't write just a random email. He or she may not like that. It has to be properly structured in a polite way. So that email writing is an art. So sometimes बात मतलब आप बोलना कुछ चाहते थे, कुछ और बोल लिए. So this kind of interactions are very important. So if you want to write an email, ask help from seniors or from us if you want. Then requirements, LOR, recommendation letter is required, which will be given by your professors, BSc professor, MSc professor. या अब मैं यहाँ पे मास्टर्स लेवल पे आ गया, ठीक है. मास्टर्स जो कर रहे हैं उसके लिए इम्पोर्टेंट है. BSc level के professors का भी आप recommendation ले सकते हैं. Statement of purpose, it is written by you, so that is also has to be properly structured. There is a art of writing statement of purpose. Here, where you should to highlight what area you want to work. If you want to name a professor, 1 or 2 professors, then the university will have an idea that you have at least visited their website. You have at least interacted with the faculty and the profiles. Otherwise, they are impressed in your SOP itself. So how to present yourself. So that was actually covered how to present. So presentation is very important. Writing and presenting. Educational credential, of course, transcript, your mark sheet. Transcript matlab mark sheet. So class at least MSc में 7 के ऊपर CGPA अगर आप रख सकते हो तो अच्छी बात है. In university 70% के ऊपर अगर आप रख सकते हो, so that is considered to be a good score. 80% is like mashallah. ठीक है. Exam scores and application form. Exam scores meaning GRE, TOEFL. Some universities will require subject GRE also. भेजना होता है online. Okay. Now fees. Many universities are free, so you can, in those 10 universities that I'm talking about, say many universities in Texas are free. Texas A&M, University of Texas at Austin, and many public universities. The public university matlab, which are government universities. So here the IIT universities are public universities, but Shipnagar is a private universities. In this list, hardly few of them are public universities. Caltech is private, Harvard is private, MIT is private. These are all private universities. So they charge a lot of money during their application and their education process, and because of which they get very good students, and also their their funding is very high. So you can choose some universities which are free if you are only considered free universities or application free universities. Okay. Usual timeline. So complete exams by September, October. So if you are in second year of MSc, so you should start preparing in your second year. So आपका जुलाई से सेशन स्टार्ट हो जाता है. So आप जुलाई से या उससे पहले भी स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं. एग्जाम आप सितंबर अक्टूबर तक दे दीजिए. और देयर इज नो डेडलाइन. आप आज अगर आपने जीआरई दिया है कल भी आप टॉयफल दे सकते हैं. देयर इज नो ऐसे क्लैश नहीं है. सो यू कैन और एक वन मंथ का गैप रख के भी दे सकते हैं क्योंकि रिजल्ट तो इमीडिएट आएगा. Then apply in November to February, because many of the deadlines of the universities are in the December, November, and some has up to, say I applied in University of Sunny Buffalo. So Sunny Buffalo gives up to March. So March next year. So you have a lot of time. So जो early applications है उसके लिए आपको जल्दी prepare करना पड़ेगा. Results are declared in March and April. So depending on your application, 3-4 months लगता है. So results will be declared. So you should also understand that many students from across the world apply to these US universities. So competition कितना महंगा है और कितना मतलब तगड़ा है. So your credentials and your SOP, your exam scores will matter. So अगर किसी professors को उस committee में आपका SOP पसंद आ गया, and he said you have taken his name, for example, तो फिर वो आपका case मतलब your case will be pushed. Say for example, it is like that in. So sometimes you have a luck factor also makes sense. Apply for visa. You're getting US visa is not that easy. So visa ke liye bhi time, and session usually starts in July, August, September, depending on the universities. So you have to plan in your second year. मैंने planning late किया. So what I used to tell that I was doing this. I was teaching in the college. I was actually and mains also, but I was interested in research. So in the meantime, I was doing in this. I asked myself, I want to dedicate myself to administration or academics. So that's why I went to academics at the end. So that is why my preparation was late. So 2018, 2008 and my friends has already went from my MSc batch. 11 or 12 students went to US by masters in 2007. So if you are interested in research, don't be late. So you can plan ahead, and people are there to guide you to save your time, because PhD is very long. Okay, expenses कितना आएगा, ये बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग क्वेश्चन है. बहुत स्टूडेंट पूछते भी है मुझे. एक चीज यहाँ पे एक्सपेंसेस से पहले मैं बता देता हूँ. यू नीड कार्ड. ये कोई नहीं बताएगा आपको. क्रेडिट कार्ड चाहिए होता है कि बिकॉज जो ETS में रजिस्ट्रेशन करना होता है, डेबिट कार्ड या ना बैंक ट्रांसफर से नहीं चलेगा, बिकॉज इट इज ए बेस्ड इन USA और आई थिंक UK. USA कंपनी होता है, मे बी डेबिट कार्ड में ऑल्सो वर्क. तो आपके फादर का है या किसी का. मैंने अपने मामा जी से उधार लिया था. लेट मी टेल यू, आई टुक फ्रॉम माय मामा जी बिकॉज आई डू नॉट हैव अ क्रेडिट कार्ड, माय पेरेंट्स. सो आई टुक हेल्प फ्रॉम माय अंकल, and he was generous enough to give his credit card. I paid back the money whatever I have used, but वो चाहिए तो क्या करूं. तो इस तरह का आपको लेना पड़ेगा. एग्जाम्स का खर्चा कितना आएगा? ईच एग्जाम इज लाइक 7,000 रुपीज. So 7,000 like $150 है ना, $150, $100 depending on the dollar value. 750, 7,500, 8,000 rupees का लेता है. So दो एग्जाम दिया तो 16,000, और depending on if you give 3 exams. मैंने तीनों एग्जाम दिया था, मेरा 21,000 पड़ा था. तो 7,000 पड़ा था उस टाइम में. अभी इंक्रीज हो सकता है. एप्लीकेशन मटेरियल्स मतलब ये है ना, रिकमेंडेशन लेटर भेजने के लिए कुरियर चाहिए ना, एजुकेशनल क्रेडेंशियल्स, एंड एग्जाम स्कोर्स भेजने के लिए भी ऑनलाइन वो कुछ फीस लेते हैं $10. तो वो सब भी है. सो वो 15 to 20,000. वीजा प्रोसेस अप्लाई करने के लिए 100. अभी रिसेंटली आई हैव हेल्प समवन फॉर US वीजा. सो ही इज $150 लगता है उसके लिए. सो एक वीजा के लिए. सो US वीजा के लिए $150, which is like equivalent to nowadays 8,000 rupees, 9,000 rupees. सो वो चाहिए होगा. एंड एक चीज और चाहिए, वो सर्विस फी बोलते हैं, बट दैट इज अनदर थिंग, दैट इज आल्सो $100. सो दैट इज अबाउट 7,000 रुपीज. फ्लाइट एंड ट्रेवल. सो ये जो इनिशियल फ्लाइट है वो नो यूनिवर्सिटी विल स्पॉन्सर यू. आपको स्कॉलरशिप वहां पहुंचने के बाद मिलेगा. एंड ऑल दिस PhD programs are sponsored. You will get scholarship like let me tell you, 1 lakh rupees itself. So कितना आएगा depending on where you stay. So Texas was highly, I mean, cost effective and affordable. other places, save some. उस fellowship में गुजारा अच्छी तरह से चल जाता है. फ्लाइट है यहाँ से अमेरिका तक, वो 40-50,000 लगता है. So वो थोड़ा सा आपका इनिशियल खर्चा आएगा. So that means overall totaling 1 लाख के आसपास, 1 to 1.5 लाख जो अगर आप जुगाड़ कर सकते हैं, किसी से उधार मांग सकते हैं, then you can pay him back. Once you go there, scholarship मिला, उसको दे दीजिए आप, ठीक है ना. So उस तरह के आप वो कर सकते हैं, but initial कुछ खर्चे आएंगे. It is not, but the study is absolutely free and you will be able to enjoy. Okay. Then one country I want to cover other than USA, Canada में भी same. Germany में बहुत students जाते हैं because there are many good universities. You know, Germany has 318 universities, more than probably US, and they offer 14,000 programs in different areas. Okay, why? Tuition free education. Tuition नहीं है, कोई fees नहीं है. You can, if you want to go for MS abroad जो मैं बोल रहा था, Germany के लिए बहुत popular. One of my project assistant who is working in a project here, she got an admission in Technical University of Munich, which is one of the in biotechnology. But she has to only worry about her living expense, but no fees for the MS program. Okay, so those kind of things are there. World-class education, top universities, US ranking के बारे में Karan sir बता रहे थे. Many good universities in the world ranking are from German universities. I mean, many scientists are from German. Albert Einstein से लेके de Broglie तक, आप chemistry में कितने सारे scientists, Max Planck, है ना, सब German scientists are there. So science is very popular there. And medium of instruction in English. German अगर सीख सकते हैं, if you want to learn German, or if you have a German background in your, है ना, graduation or +2, it is very nice. Job opportunities है वहाँ पे, scholarship opportunities है, lot of scholarship opportunities are there. Living cost is affordable depending on the city. Okay, where you are. If you are in Berlin, or if you are in a mega city like Frankfurt, so वहाँ पे तो बहुत खर्चा आएगा. But peripheral area में, but एक good point है that many of the major universities are in smaller towns, जहाँ पे खर्चे बहुत कम है. Time required for PhD is less. So 3 years में German में chemistry में PhD हो जाता है. One of my friend who is my junior in Hindu College, Delhi University, he did PhD. Then he did MSc in IIT Madras. I went to IIT Delhi, say. Then he did MSc PhD from Germany. Now he is a professor in IIT Goa, but he went to industry later on. But his PhD was 3 years, while my PhD took 5.5 to 6 years. So the US में 5 years it लग जाता है, क्योंकि वहाँ पे course work होता है, teaching load होता है, you need to teach. Although their program is very good, actually, you need how to teach. But Germany में course work नहीं है, so PhD is like 3 years. So PhD होता है, you can spend more time in the postdoc. So cultural diversity, people from all around the world will come. You will have to interact. Requirements क्या है? वही TOEFL है, GRE नहीं चाहिए जर्मनी के लिए. TOEFL and IELTS, उनका खुद का एक एप्टीट्यूड टेस्ट है, उसका नाम है टेस्ट एस. वो कोई यूनिवर्सिटी मांग सकता है, वो आप देखिए. ये वेबसाइट है, studying in Germany. You can go to this website and you will have lot of good information about studying in Germany. Application form है, certificates and transcripts. So your वो तो है ही. Finance आपको दिखाना रहता है. So you can take a loan also if you want. If you student loan आप ले सकते हैं, और आपका mortgage paper कुछ भी दिखा सकते हैं, land. So some is there, but once you go there, you can go for the scholarship opportunities. But PhD के लिए scholarship है, masters के लिए थोड़ा ये financial means आपको दिखाना पड़ेगा. There are many good universities, fantastic university. We recently interacted with one of the team from German university. So I here coordinate the interaction of IIT with Canadian universities. I coordinate with the University of New Brunswick and University of Saskatchewan and the University of Italy, and recently Naples, Italy came, and Bonn, University of Germany. So these universities sometimes come and we interact with those people, and they have this kind of programs, very cost effective and learning for students, and students learn to go to Germany. And it is also closer as compared to US. Okay, so it is very close, like 7 hours flight as compared to 15 hours flight to USA. Okay, Heidelberg University, Technical University of Munich, it is one of the top. It is actually considered the MIT of Germany. So it is very popular in. So these universities आप target कर सकते हो. And as I say, 380 universities है Germany में education दे सकते हो. वहाँ से आप US भी जा सकते हो masters करके. Okay. Then scholarship opportunities, ये link आप जा सकते हैं. There you can go for this website, Research in Germany, Land of Ideas. So it is from a federal ministry of German, education and research. वहाँ पे जा सकते हैं, funding for PhD students. And there's a big scholarship known as DAD fellowship. DAD बहुत common है Germany के लिए, and DAD fellowship is common to and applicable to Indian citizens. So आप apply कर सकते हो. कैसे apply करना है, ये website आप जा सकते हैं. और कुछ friends भी है जिसने DAD वगैरह clear किया है, उनका मदद भी आप ले सकते हैं. ठीक है. Now opportunities after PhD, I'll go quickly. Faculty positions, PhD अगर कर लिया आपने, it's a big achievement. As Ram Karan sir का talk मैंने attend नहीं किया, मतलब I could not attend, my students have attended, but I have recently seen the video. He said that it requires a lot of commitment, है ना, और time चाहिए, और आप frustration बहुत हो जाएंगे guide से, आपके colleagues से, but आपको जुड़े रहना है. It's like preparing for UPSC. UPSC में 4 attempt क्यों दिए जाते हैं? बहुत लोग 4th attempt के बाद, क्योंकि वो perseverance और वो जो patience चाहिए, वो PhD में भी चाहिए. 5-6 years चाहिए होगा. उसके बाद आप faculty positions कर सकते हैं, different institute, universities, IITs वगैरह के लिए only PhD is not enough. 3 years postdoc minimum चाहिए. And in fact, if you have more, it's even better. Postdoctoral researcher आप कर सकते हो India and abroad. Research scientist in industry positions. Each subject has some core areas. उसमें आप जा सकते हैं. Reputed journal, editor of reputed scientific journal. ये job कोई नहीं बोलता है आपको. ये मैंने देखा है, मेरे PhD के colleagues, they're editor in Nature. They have done PhD and they're editor in Science or Nature. Or one of my colleagues was editor in Nature Chemical Biology, which is a top journal in chemistry, chemical biology. So they are interested. You will be still interested in science and will be interacting with the scientific articles, but you will not have your own lab. But editing job is a very reputed job in top tier journals. अगर आपने इंडस्ट्री पोस्टडॉक किया है, आप स्टार्टअप कर सकते हो, एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप कर सकते हो. ओनली स्टडी इज नॉट इनफ. ये एम्प्लॉयमेंट जनरेशन इज आल्सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. अगर वो एम्प्लॉयमेंट जनरेशन आप खुद कर सकते हो स्टार्टअप बना के, देयर इज नथिंग लाइक इट. वी विल बी लाइक सैल्यूटिंग पीपल इफ यू कैन गिव जॉब टू 20 more people with your learning in the industry or in your PhD or postdoc learning. Okay, you can try for these options. Now how to apply for a postdoc position, ये पहले कवर किया गया था. मैं एक स्लाइड यहाँ पे देना चाहता हूँ, because postdoc is not a degree. PhD is the highest degree a university can give, और DSc होता है UK के यूनिवर्सिटी में कुछ DSc, but usually PhD is the highest degree. It is a research position. It is a temporary position. It is to gain knowledge, gain more experience. Where you want to do academia versus industry. Academia में आपको papers बहुत मिलेंगे if you want from chemistry, sciences, है ना. But industry में आपको real life experience मिलेगा कि industry real life problems पे काम कर रहे हैं. Papers भले ही ना मिले, but you can become an industry, है ना. Startup खोलने के लिए, entrepreneur बनने के लिए industry postdocs are very nice. There are a lot of students I have seen going for industry postdoc. Funding is required. So postdoc के लिए भी funding है. उसके लिए भी government funding देता है. Professors भी funding हो सकता है. जिस तरह PhD के लिए फंडिंग मिलता है, उस तरह पोस्टडॉक के लिए भी फंडिंग अवेलेबल होता है. ठीक है. इन इंडिया व्हाट आर द ऑप्शंस? NPDF, नेशनल पोस्ट डॉक्टरल फेलोशिप. इट इज ऑफर्ड बाय सर्ब. सर्ब इज सोसाइटी फॉर, व्हाट इज दैट, साइंस एंड इंजीनियरिंग रिसर्च बोर्ड. it is a board for conducting science. It is for 2 years, 55,000 per month. Rather than IPDF, every institute have their institutional postdoc fellowship. It is starts from 50,000, that kind of money. Why it looks odd if I mention money. I don't like also, but some students are very maybe motivated by money, and they also do not have this information. Can I sustain myself? 50,000 is good, says to sustain in India, for example, and support your family also. So you can go for a postdoc and then look for a job if you are interested. Other than that, social sciences के लिए ये सब fellowship है. I see Indian Council of Social Sciences Research, so postdoctoral fellowship, and IGI Indira Gandhi Institute for Developmental Studies. ये social sciences के लिए, arts के लिए, mostly postdoctoral. Other than that, Fulbright Nehru. Fulbright is a US and India program, Fulbright Nehru program, and UGC DS Kothari Fellowship है. Raman Fellowship है IISc का, so ये आप apply कर सकते हैं. Raman is highly competitive, only 50 applications they are accepting per year. So after PhD, if you want to go to IISc for postdoc, you can do that. Abroad, you can go for abroad में postdoc के लिए कोई advertise नहीं करता. So it is very less. PhD के लिए they will advertise. Postdoc के लिए you have to go for the university website and you have to write emails to professors. So you can start from your 4th year or 3rd year of PhD to search for a postdoctoral position. A potential postdoc postdoctoral position. So those students who are in PhD, let me tell you, don't get just focus on your research area. That wo bahut narrow-minded ho jata hai. You start reading papers about related from different professors from related area, so that one of those professors could become your probably a potential postdoctoral advisor, something like that. So you can get idea more about his research. So papers padhna chalu kijiye, or not necessarily exactly same area you are doing. So that will broaden your horizon and the thinking power. Contacting professors directly, area of choice is important. This area mein karna chahte hain, but do not repeat the same area as of PhD. So you try to add additional value to your postdoc. My postdoc was like more of a antibiotics and medicinal as compared to a basic biochemistry related or organic chemistry in my postdoc in PhD. So I wanted to do something different. So similarly, you can do, those who are doing say organic chemistry can go for a bio-related postdoc. There are many good professors. International fellowships are there. That is, as I said, for Germany. Humboldt is also for Germany. JSPS. Many students, I have many friends. I have one of my junior is in Tokyo, University of Tokyo. He was a JSPS fellow, Japan Society for Promotion of Science. So you can apply for these JSPS fellowships. Marie Curie is for France. We have here a professor in mathematics. He's a Marie Curie fellow from France, and he got a very good fellowship in his postdoc. So Marie Curie, you can apply. So these are some names. So you have to look for these websites, and there are some national agencies like in USA, NIH, NSF. उसका लेकिन एक requirement है कि US citizen और permanent resident होना चाहिए, green card holder होना चाहिए, जो आप होते नहीं हो when you are doing PhD. So कभी-कभी they have some international applications also. You can look for those. And other fellowships available in that university. For example, in my university, they have a web page saying that why you want to do a postdoc and what are the funding options. Because sometimes, say when I was in Texas is a very oil-rich country, oil-rich. So there are a lot of oil companies are there. So oil companies provide money for supporting university. So they can provide a professor giving money, and the professor can hire a postdoc. But the money is coming from the oil company. So that will be mentioned in their university website. So you need to look for those information. Those are not available online, or nobody probably will tell you. Okay, there may be some friends who can guide you in that regard. Okay. Now, if you have chosen to go for a job after MSc, and you have not doing PhD and postdoc, it's still fine. There are many good job options where you can still attach to the subject. One is teacher and assistant professor. You will be teaching, and a PhD teacher in JNBs and KVs or many other good school. आपको B.Ed degree चाहिए. Assistant professor के लिए lectureship चाहिए, वो आप कर सकते हैं. There is scientist position. ये chemistry, physics, in fact biological people भी apply कर सकते हैं. इसके लिए GATE चाहिए. These are some agencies, BARC, DRDO, ISRO. ये आप सुना ही होगा नाम. ये सब के लिए GATE previously they used to conduct exam. Now GATE के through ही होता है. Assistant chemist in PSUs, ONGC, NTPC. For example, I got NTPC job also after my MSc, but I wanted to go for US for postdoc, so I could not join. But my friend is same way. He is also from MSc from IIT Delhi. Previously served in NTPC Madhya Pradesh. Now he is serving in NTPC Assam. So he is doing very well. He's a general manager now in NTPC. So this kind of jobs options are there, which is directly linked with chemistry. You don't need to do PhD, postdoc, and only professor kind of job. Okay. Then assistant officer in IOCL. IOCL has a good job, but it needs 2 years of experience that you need to take care. Examiner of patents, patent officer. It is very less known job. It is a CGP, TDM, Controller General of Patents and Designs and Trademarks. It's a central government agency, but many chemistry people will probably apply for it. But it is a patent officer and kind of intellectual property rights control. So you are examiner of patents. It's a central government job. You can go after MSc and probably go for an exam. Then food related organization, FSSAI, Food Safety and Standards, as well as Food Corporation of India. They have a technical officer job, which is through exam and interview. MSc chemistry students are well suited. In fact, biotechnology students, food preservatives, बहुत well suited है इस job के लिए. Geochemist. So these are important. This is conducted by UPSC. You should mind it, and it is for Geological Survey of India. So geochemist and geophysicist positions are in different. They are very well government jobs, and they are also you are still linked to the subject. They're not very, like you went to a bank and you forgot chemistry. So here you will be doing something related to the subject. Then you probably don't have heard of this. This is known as SPMCIL. This is Security Printing and Minting Corporation of India. It's notes and like stamp papers and bonds and those kind of. This is central government agency like CGPTDM, and they have assistant manager positions, and all the science graduates are postgraduates are open materials. So chemistry graduates are highly material chemistry, inorganic chemists are highly applicable in this kind of, or metallurgy in this kind of areas, and they can apply for this kind of jobs. So there are many jobs where without a PhD, you can still link to the subject and you can serve the society in a different capacity. A scientist in DRDO is no less, or a general manager, assistant manager in ONGC or NTPC is no less than a professor in serving the society. So we need to think in that lines. Everybody has their role in the society. In the private sector, there are a lot of opportunities. In India, unfortunately, it is not very more. It is not very less, and many students after MSc don't want to go for private industries because they pay less or their work hours are very less. But there are some good companies. You can take an experience, 2 years experience, and you can go for an industry related PhD or postdoc. Okay, so Ranbaxy, Reddy's, Syngene, and Abbott, these are pharmaceutical companies, and organic chemistry background or even inorganic chemistry students are highly suited for this kind of jobs. So this is mostly chemistry-oriented industries. Then Hindustan Unilever and Dabur, these are involved in healthcare products, consumer products, which use in our day-to-day life, consumer goods. So they also have chemistry positions. Now, when you go to these websites, you need to go for careers or work with us. Those kind of tabs are there. There you can see, and they are not advertised very often. इसमें employment exchange में आपको नहीं मिलेगा, newspaper में probably नहीं मिलेगा. So you need to go there, visit the website. अगर कोई senior ने join किया है, उसके through आप जाना चाहिए. तो ये context networking is very important, as it was mentioned and highlighted by Ram Karan in the previous talk. Tata Chemicals and BASF, chemical making companies, agriculture, household, है ना, toilet में हम use करते हैं Tata Chemicals, and there are many companies which are making. These are big names. They are very small names also, where they have this kind of job opportunities. You probably have heard of HPLC and LCMS, these kind of instruments. These are made by these companies, Agilent and Waters. Agilent and Waters are instrument making companies. They need expertise in sciences, chromatography, say, or separation science, physical chemistry, analytical chemistry. Those kind of jobs are very important for these kind of companies, and they have job opportunities in these areas. Consultancy services, I have seen people going for after MSc TCS. So it is nowhere related to chemistry probably, but they still offer companies good MSc students from good universities. In physics, electronic devices, nanotechnology related devices are good options. I don't have proper NVIDIA or other options. So I don't have more data for physics. Similarly, biology, biotechnological related biologicals. For example, now Serum Institute of Technology or Biotech, who are making your Covaxin and Covishield vaccines. What do you think their job profile? Most of them are biotechnologists or people from biology background. So recently, there is a company next to IIT Dharwad, which is making the Sputnik vaccine in large scale. Sputnik is a Russian-made vaccine. You all know that Indian government has given the permission, and they have in collaboration with this Reddy's lab in Hyderabad, they are overproducing the Sputnik. And they recently interviewed in IIT and other job profiles. They need people from biochemistry, biology background. So you can see these companies, they make antibodies and antibiotics. These companies have a lot of importance in master's level students. So you can always, that option is always open. If you go to US and you have done a PhD, no need to do postdoc. I have seen people going for these big companies like Pfizer, Novartis, Merck. They make drugs which are like $1 billion. For example, you probably have heard of drug Taxol is the anti-cancer drug used in breast cancer and other cancers. And one of these companies have the proprietary right for that, making that compound. It has a synthetic steps. Then that is distributed all over the world. It is a $1 billion industry. So one drug, one particular drug in cancer. There are many cancer drugs, but that one particular drug making billions of dollars. And chemistry graduates are like postgraduates are needed in these kind of companies. Dow Chemicals, BASF, as I said, chemical making companies. And into these IT-based companies, Intel, Google, Facebook. I don't know what chemistry has my PhD juniors from Texas A&M University, many of engineers in Intel, and they are earning lot more money than a professor will do. For example, in USA itself. So, but probably that is their line of work, and they want to interact or grow in an industry environment. So they do technological, they do innovations in those kind of industries. There are many small companies. If you are already planning to go to US, say have a eye on these companies in Boston, California, New York, and these kind of areas where they are recruiting students from chemistry background, physics background, biology background, and you can go for biology, those kind of job profiles. One of the pros meaning positive points of industry is that they pay very well, high salaries. Okay, but the con is that your job is risky. Whenever the market is down, your job may be on the line. It is not a permanent job like the professor or something like that. So that's why many hesitate, but it's not like that. If you do well, you will keep growing in the industry. Oil-based companies are also there, like Shell and Murphy's. They may be mostly from inorganic chemistry background. They will like to recruit. Okay.